In this last segment, we're going to talk about the miracle of trade. Okay? As you'll see here, trade is like a technology. And the amazing thing about it, well, back in the first module, you learned that we cannot produce outside or beyond the production possibilities curve. However, as you will see, through specialization in the area of our comparative advantage and exchange or trade, through specialization and exchange, we can consume beyond our production possibilities curve. Well, first of all, let's fill in these lines a little bit, fill in the other parts of the graph of our production possibility curve. Let's start with Arthur. He has the comparative advantage in bikes, remember. So he is going to produce bikes. So, but let's fill in the other parts. This would be one web page, this would be 2 web pages, and then 3 web pages. Okay, so let's go ahead and find these other points. Now, if Arthur produces 1 web page, then he has, how many bikes can he produce? Well, again, if he produces 1 web page, he has to give up 4 bike repairs to get it. So he has to come down from 12 to 4 less than 12. So that's another point at which he can choose if he wants. He can produce there if he wants. He can produce 1 web page and 8 bike repairs. Or he can produce 2 web pages. And how many bike repairs would that be? Well, to produce that extra web page, he has to give up another 4 bike repairs. So that would be 4. 4 bike repairs and 2 web pages would be another production possibility. So he can produce 12 bike repairs and no web pages. Well, here I should actually put a 0 there. He could be at this point here. He could be at this point here, or he could produce 3 web pages and no bike repairs, all right? But he is going to specialize in bike repair. So he's going to actually produce at this point. That's his chosen production point. 12 bike repairs and 0 web pages. Once again, we'll go back to our price of a web page equals 2 bike repairs. That's the market price. So Arthur's going to produce 12 bike repairs, and if he wants to buy a web page, which he would prefer to do than make it himself, right? Because he can buy it for half the price it costs him to produce it himself. Costs him 4 bike repairs to produce a web page, but he can purchase a web page for only 2 bike repairs. So a point on Arthur's consumption possibilities. Now this is this line here, remember, this is his production possibilities curve. This is what he can produce. Now we're looking at his consumption possibilities, assuming he's producing at this point here, where his comparative advantage is, bike repairs. And if he wants any web pages, he'll purchase them for 2 bike repairs. Let's say he wants 1 web page. It's going to cost him 2 bike repairs. So he's going to give up, he's producing 12 bike repairs. He's going to give up 2 of them to get the web page. That leaves him 10 bike repairs, right? He produced 12, paid 2 to get 1 web page. So that's a point on his consumption possibilities curve. If he wants another bike repair, excuse me, boy, got to be careful here. It's easy to make a mistake. If he wants another web page, in other words, if he wants to go from 1 to 2, he has to give up 2 more bike repairs, right? Well, giving up 2 more bike repairs or paying them to purchase 1 more web page would leave him with 8 bike repairs. So this here is a point on Arthur's consumption possibilities curve. And if he wants a third web page, well, he has to buy it somewhere from different than at DW, right? We're going to assume there's another person out there with the exact same production possibilities as DW. If he wants a third one, he'll have to give up 2 more bike repairs. That'd be 6. That'd leave him with 6. And another point on his consumption possibilities is right there. And that's it for him. Okay? Well, actually, it isn't it. What am I talking about? He can keep producing. I mean, it's it for the numbers I've got. But let's keep on going. Here, let me erase this. He can keep on going. So let's keep on going. There are more DWs out there. I already said that. So let's keep going. If he wants a 4th web page, he'd have to go from 6 down to 4 bike repairs. He's still got some. Whoops. And there's another point. If he wants 5 web pages, he'd have to give up 2 more. That'd get him down to 2. There's another point. And if he wanted a 6th web page, well, that would be 2 more bike repair. That would leave him 0. And he'd have 6 web pages, so we connect the dots. There is Arthur's consumption possibilities with specialization and trade. And this here is his production possibilities. Okay, let's look at DW's production possibilities curve. She's going to specialize in the area of her comparative advantage, which is web pages. So she's going to produce right there 2 web pages. Now she can sell a web page, remember, for 2 bike repairs. So if she wants to sell a web page, that brings her down to 1 web page. That's what she's got left. And what can she get for that web page? 2 bike repairs. That's a point on her consumption possibilities curve. And what if she wants to sell 1 more web page? That would take her down to 0 web pages. But she could sell that second web page for 2 more bike repairs. That'd give her 4 bike repairs. That's another point on her consumption possibilities. Fill in the dots. And there's DW's consumption possibilities. The red line, that's what she can produce if she specializes in the area of her comparative advantage web pages. So she's going to produce 2 web pages and trade for bike repairs. She does that, she can consume along this line. Outside her production possibilities. So, if we're faced with the choice of consuming our production possibilities, because if we don't trade, what can we consume? We can consume along our production possibilities. If we do no trading, our consumption possibilities equals our production possibilities. But if we specialize and exchange, we can consume beyond our production possibilities. So what are most people going to choose to do? Specialize in something and trade. That's why most of what we consume, we never made most of us never grew our own food. We don't make our own clothes. We didn't build our house. We didn't build our car. We specialized and purchased those items from somebody else. That's because specialization and exchange makes us better off.